How are you?
Dude, I'm doing great after this being set up and about what we're about to talk about.
Good, 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 good.
Before I even go into it, how's life been as a husband and a dad during the pandemic?
Um, trying. So every time I say this, I say to calibrate. If you calibrate for dystopian hellscape, it's good. You know, I think that it is the best it can be. It's awful, right? Like it's awful. Like I can't do my job, which is like not only my job, but like the thing I love most in the world. I think I'm pretty boring, right? Like I've never had a beer. I don't like roller coasters. I hate going to Vegas. The only thing I like is playing music for people, and not being able to do it is tough. And then also like I all the extra time with my kid is amazing, but like I feel like I'm constantly robbing him of stuff. Like didn't get to go on the amusement rides at the beach, doesn't get to see any other kids, doesn't get to play with other people at the playground. Like um, keeping him safe also feels like it's like robbing him of experiences. And so
So many emotions. It's so crazy. I know one thing can be a good thing, but it's also a bad at the same time. It's a lot to juggle.
yeah, like okay, so we canceled the last 8 dates of the tour we were on when the first wave hit. And okay, that sucked, but I got to watch him take his first steps and I would have still been on tour that day.
Right.
So, you know, try to take the good where it is.
Exactly. So you guys have been super active with the election and voting. Before we get into all of that, before we get into what I just like want to. I don't even know where to begin because I'm so freaking excited that this is happening. And I gotta tell you right now, like I breakless is ridiculous. Sorry. Okay, go into it. You've been super active with voting, and I know that you guys wanted to get a thousand fans registered to vote. You didn't think that was going to happen as quickly as it did. Can you go into that?
Sure. Okay. So what we wanted to do is get at least 1,000 people to take what we called a voter action, right? Which was one of three things. You could register to vote, and a couple hundred people registered to vote for the first time. Amazing. You could check your registration status, which was super important because we saw a bunch of people say like, "Oh, I checked it and I didn't realize like my polling place had changed, or like I moved and I forgot to update it. I would have not been able to vote." Amazing. Or you can request a mail-in ballot, which was also an awesome thing to have as an option, right? Um, so, okay, you know what? I'm going to tell you a story, and you can cut it. You can cut the story if you want to, but I think it's really
Oh,
funny.
no, say it.
So we went on with the guy that had set the thing up, that who coded this thing to be able to like count people who did it and give awards or prizes or things away for it, right? So we got on the call with him, and he's like, "I'm just so excited to have you guys. This is so cool. It's amazing." We're like, "Oh, that's awesome!" Like, and he's like, "Yeah, and if your crew wants to get involved too." And I was like, "Oh, sick! Like, you must know about touring and know we have like a road crew." And he's like, "Yeah, yeah. So what is the song? Is it like a new version of like your theme or whatever?" And I'm like, "What theme? Wait a minute. Do you think this is the TV show, The Wonder Years?" And he's like, "Yeah, what do you mean?" And I'm like, "No, this is the like punk band from Philadelphia on Hopeless Records, The Wonder Years." And he stopped on the Zoom for so long that I thought his screen froze. And then he goes, "Are you kidding me?" And I'm like, "No, man. No, we're like a rock and roll band."
He wanted to
And
be like, why would you do if I-"
he thought that we were gonna, yeah, he thought we were gonna cover that song again, I guess. And it was gonna be like the cast singing it or something.
Oh my God.
Luckily, the other person on the call was like, "Oh no, I know who you are. I've seen you guys all the time. I saw you at Warped Tour, like whatever." Super excited to have you. It was just like an amazing moment. So, but yeah, so he was like, because originally he thought it was the TV show, and then he thought, "Oh, it's a band that I don't know." And so he was like, maybe like set it at like, like 100 motor actions. And we're like, "Well, we wanted to do like 1,000." And everyone thought it was, kind of a big ask. And we hit, and our fans are amazing. And what I think we learned about them is so many of them are already so engaged,
Yeah.
and so involved that like, yeah, like a lot of them were like, "I'm already registered. Of course I'm already registered." So that was cool. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm in my sister-in-law's bakery. We're shooting a music video today in one of the empty buildings here. On my wife's family owns a farm in South Jersey, and they took all the tractors out of a building so we could use it like a warehouse. But I needed somewhere quiet, so I'm in the bakery.
Dude, that's awesome. I was
I'm
looking around. I was like, this is really cool.
Yeah, I'm surrounded by like prop wedding cakes.
Yo, that is awesome. Oh my God. Okay, so I guess.
But yeah, like the fridge just clicked on. I'm like, I hope you can hear it all right.
Yeah, no, I can hear you fine. I was looking, I was like, that's a really nice fridge that you have, Dan.
Yeah, that's my industrial fridge.
Oh, there's like so much. Okay, so I guess let's lead into it. There's some major shit that is happening, and we're like a couple weeks away from it. And since you got 1,000 people registered and you did that so quickly, did you want to go into am I allowed to say it? Or are you gonna say it? Like new music?
As far as the new song? Yeah, okay, yeah, of course we can. So okay, so actually this is like an exclusive for you, right? You're gonna debut this song. The whole plan was we weren't gonna release this song until December.
I know.
We've been holding on to it, and we thought we really want to get people registered to vote. What do we have that, because we can't do a show right now, we're like, what can we do that would be cool enough? And we thought, well, we have this new music, why don't we just drop it early if we get enough people to register? And then we were gonna, we hit the number really recently, and we were gonna have it. We scheduled it to come out on like all the like streaming platforms on the 23rd, because you have to schedule it like a week in advance. You can't just drop it on there. And then y'all asked if we could release it with you first to encourage people to register in Pennsylvania, because that deadline is fast approaching. Do you know what it is? I think it's the 20th, but I don't want to be wrong. I'm sorry?
The 19th.
The 19th. Oh man, I would have blown it right there. Okay,
Yep.
So good. So we wanted to do it with y'all so that, everyone could have one last shot to register on the 19th, because Pennsylvania obviously is incredibly important. Probably the most important state in the country as far as deciding this election. And specifically the Philadelphia region and the Philadelphia suburbs might be the most important suburbs and region and series of counties in America, right? And that's our home. That's where we're from. We're from Montgomery County originally. We lived all over the area. And so like, if we want to stand on a table and scream register to vote in one place, it's lucky that it's here.
Hell yeah.
So anyway, so we did these songs over the summer, and this is what's kind of cool about them is we have 2 records turning 10 within a year of each other. One's called The Upsides, one's called Suburbia, I've Given You All, Now I'm Nothing. And we were thinking of different ways to celebrate these records. And, people put out old unreleased music or whatever, but we didn't really have any of it. And one day I was listening through this archive of voice note demos and everything, and I heard one that I remembered writing, and the date is on it, right? I wrote it in 2010.
Wow.
And I never showed it to the band because I didn't feel like it fit in the narrative arc of the record. And I thought, man, what if we turned that into a whole song? And then I was like, well, why don't we do that, one of them for each record, right? Why don't we do these 2 songs in the style of those records? Because we've obviously, every record we do, we try to progress our sound. Let's go make something that sounds like those records again. Let's try to recapture that era. And I went back and I found that voice note demo. I went back and looked at like old journals and things I had written. And I tried to write, we tried to write songs that captured that spirit. And one of them is Breakless. And you guys are going to world debut it.
Dude, that song is so fucking good. I love the Broad Street reference. I felt so amped up. I know it's like from the era of 10 years ago, but dude, this song is good.
And that's kind of the thing is like some of the lyrics in both songs, and the other one will come out later, they kind of hit right now too.
Right now.
And that song is centered, Breakless is centered in 2008 when I was living above the Pedal Pusher Flower Shop on South Broad Street, and I was at Temple, and I was teaching an after-school program at 21st and Arch, and I would ride my bike up and down Broad Street all day, 20 miles a day, doing laps around the city to get to all these places. And just, it was a particularly depressed time in my life, and it was, freezing cold, and I was as broke as I've ever been, kind of making these decisions every day, right? Like, okay, $4 on the subway, or save those $4 so you can eat lunch and ride your bike up Broad Street where it's barely plowed. And there's these big icy puddles, and just kind of dealing with that time frame. And, I never really wrote about it then. And so I wrote about it for this song.
Dude, I freaking love it. It is so good. And you know what? I mean, look, there's a lot of bands I'm sure that have been maybe really, I feel like I haven't listened to anything that's like cutting through to me in terms of protest music or things that are actually responding to the times right now. That is it. The song is so good. And I'm like so excited that you're letting us do it on the New Music Discovery show, and we'll play it again. And it's all to get, bring awareness to what's going on with these two albums of yours and voter registration. And man, I feel like it's like a perfect storm of awesomeness. And I love
Yeah, it kind of came through in a cool way. And like, I'm so glad that you wanted to play it, because it gives me a chance to say to people in the region, in the most important region in America right now, this is your last chance, right? Like, this is going to air on the 18th. Tomorrow is your last chance to register to vote. It's your last chance to vote in the most important election of our lifetimes. It's your last chance to do something that's going to affect you and everybody you love, potentially for generations to come, right? Even if we're just talking about climate change, even if we're just talking about saving the earth that you literally need, you need it. This is your only planet.
Yeah.
November 3rd, it might be your last shot to do something huge and valuable for that. And tomorrow might be your last day to register to be able to do that. So I'm yelling it from every rooftop. Go do it.
Dan Campbell's yelling on top of a friggin' rooftop.
Well,
Man.
I'm yelling inside of a bakery, but that's okay.
It is a great bakery. So
There
Dan,
you go. That's for
now that
yes.
you're screaming on top of the rooftop, aka inside of the bakery, tell me what the hell's going on after all this voter registration stuff, because there's you guys are bringing back the Halloween show, right?
Yes. Okay. So we've been doing this thing a couple years in a row, and then a couple years before that. So the idea of a Halloween extravaganza in our head was, when we were younger, every year on Halloween, all the local bands would get into a basement show or a teen center show, a VFW hall, whatever, and everyone would do a cover set. So the flyer would say like, Rancid and Newfound Glory and Green Day and American Nightmare, and it was people covering those bands. And we were like, well, how do we scale that experience up into like the rooms that we play? And so we started doing a thing where we would do every year, we'd bring a couple other bands and we would do our own set. But before we would do it, we would do an in-costume cover set. And so 2 years ago at Starland Ballroom, we did Queen, and we brought in like a local high school choir to do it with us. And then last year at the TLA, we did Limp Bizkit. This year we're doing it digital. It's a live stream for everybody's safety, but we're a 6-piece. There's 6 of us. And we decided we're going to cut the band in half, and we're doing 2 different Blink-182 cover sets like at each other. So dueling Blink cover sets, and it's going to be a lot of fun because a couple of the guys in the band are really versatile. And so our guitar player Nick is moving to drums, and our other guitar player Matt is going to sing in one of them, and I'm going to play bass and sing in the other.
Awesome.
And so yeah, we're going to do Blink-182 sets back and forth, and then we're going to do our set. And so we have it available now on our website. It's just thewonderyearsband.com, and you can get a ticket. But we also thought like it would be cool if we gave away free tickets with all of the merch. So if you wanted to buy, we have like special T-shirts and sweatshirts and like this awesome screen printed poster that like nods at the Tom, Mark, and Travis show live record they did. Any of that stuff, if you buy the thing, it comes with a free ticket. So that's pretty dope too. And I think that we're giving away a couple spots with y'all, right?
Yeah, I think that we're going to launch that either this weekend or next week. So we're going to be able to get some alt 104.5 listeners into that, which is super cool.
That's so cool. Yeah, I'm excited about the whole thing. It's like one of the most like kind of fun, carefree things that we do every year. And we thought that this year especially, people could use a smile, could use a good time. So we're going to do it.
We've been talking about it on air. Like every time I play Blink, I'm like, the Wonder Years are doing dueling Blink-182 sets. I just shared it on our Instagram. So great, like dueling. This is going to be so much fun. So yeah,
that's so cool.
I was thinking too, and Mike Jones was even mentioning it. Like it's going to be such a nice break from like all the insanity all the time. So just to see something fun and one of your favorite bands doing that, I think it's really cool. So
yeah. So I just the other day I was talking to Mark from Blink for his radio show that I don't think that has aired yet. I think it'll air soon, but for him to ask me about it, I was like, oh, like how do I? Or it's like the actual guy is like, so you're covering my band for Halloween? Like, tell me about that. And
How
it's
did
just a cool experience for
how did he
me.
respond? Did he love it?
Oh, he's stoked about it. Yeah, he's excited about it. So that's fun to know that he will probably be watching is a really funny thing for me.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's cool, man. It's you know, that's the band that made me want to pick up an instrument and play in a band. You know, that's the band that made it feel like, oh, this is like a possible thing for me,
Yeah.
and like I want to try it. And so it'll be fun to throw back to that and do those songs, and really looking forward to it.
We're fucking looking forward to it too, dude. I'm so excited about this new song. I am so excited that you're letting us premiere it. Dan, I'm not freaking lying, dude. It's really good. I know it's
Thank
reminiscent of
you.
that era, but like, man, I'm telling you, those lyrics really hit home. I'm brushing my teeth and I'm listening to it. I'm like, shit is so fucking shitty right now, but like, at least this guy knows that it's shitty, and he's like, all right, we gotta freaking just get up and go through it and get through it anyway. And it's a really fucking good song, man.
Thank you. Yeah, you know, when we wrote them, the big thing for us is like we never in anything. You talked about it with the merch or like the books that we've done or everything. We never want to half-ass a single thing we do, right? If we're gonna do it, we want to do it right and we want to deliver you something awesome because that's what people deserve. That's what you deserve. If you support our band, you never deserve anything less than every bit of effort we can give you, whether that's on stage or whether that's making music. And so, yeah, we wanted to write throwback songs, but that doesn't mean we're gonna just do the first thing that comes into our mind and just go, hey, good enough, right? Like, I legitimately think both of these new songs are great. I'm super proud of them and I can't wait for people to hear them.
Hell yes, man. All right. So we're going to premiere it. And this is cool too, because Monday, it's the deadline to get registered to vote in Pennsylvania. And we'll be playing back some audio of you talking about the importance of it on the show this upcoming Sunday night. We'll play it back again on Monday. So, man, Dan, it's so good to see you and to talk to
Yeah, it
you.
is.
And this is like so exciting. And I know people are going to freak the fuck out. And I can't wait to talk about it on the air tonight.
That's amazing. Hey, thank you so much for hanging out with me for a little bit.
Yeah.
I miss seeing you and I hope that we can. I saw that you were at all those cool drive-in shows and like we almost did one,
Let's go.
but we were
Do you think you want to do one or no? Do you think there's
I
any?
do think we I do think we want to do one now. What we wanted to do is look at one first and make sure we felt like it was safe for our fans.
Yeah.
You know, like our number one thing is always like making sure that everyone feels safe and comfortable at the
Yeah.
shows. And we were like, I just want to see it first with my own eyes to say, I believe in this. I believe that it's safe for you to come to it. And now that we saw it, I mean, you know, I saw all the photos from the Front Bottoms one, and
Oh.
I think that we'll probably end up doing one, you know, sometime in the future.
Dude, they were so they had this whole thing organized like beautifully. I'm telling you, I was so happy. So next weekend I'll go up to Scranton because they're doing a couple ones. So I'll see a band up there. But yeah, Scranton's still doing them. It might be cold, but like I don't care. I need to see live music, and I know people would flip the fuck out if you guys did one.
Yeah, I mean, we might have to wait till springtime, and you know, it's just right now. It's like we're in this holding pattern of like, when are we allowed to go on tour, right? Like we had a tour booked that was supposed to start in October that we've now delayed 4 times, and you know, we don't know when it's going to go out.
Right.
And just it's tough. It's treading water, and it's also like, you know, like literally 90% of our income comes from touring,
I know.
and so everybody's in this kind of like, damn, like what are we going to do? So we're just waiting it out.
Well, we've got jams to lift us, and I'm so excited about this. And thank you so much for doing this with us. And have a blast for the Halloween extravaganza. We'll be tuning in and we'll be getting people hooked up for that show.
All right, appreciate you. Thank you very much for talking to me.
Thanks, Dan. Tell everybody I
See you
said
soon.
hi. Bye.
I will. I'm going over there right now.
Bye.
Bye.